Good evening. Here with Jim, Josh, and Caitlin, and at this time we're going to be working with dealing with a bear hug from behind. Now, real quick before we get into this evening's combination, I want to point out that when it comes to your strategies in dealing with bear hugs, one size does not fit all. Very often it is the intent of the attacker which presents to you the best strategy or best combination of movements to apply. So in this particular instance, we're going to be dealing a little bit more with a bear hug to restrain as opposed to more of a tackle, a lift, or a drag back. We'll deal with those at another time. So what we're going to do is I'm going to ask everyone to kind of grab a space on the floor. Let's spread ourselves out a little bit, and what we're going to do is we're going to, for this particular combination, we're going to work through the basic motions in the air, and then we'll apply it. So I think we're relatively staggered. And so first thing I want everyone to do is we're going to bring our hands directly to our center. Okay, so about your abdomen. Then you're going to, for the purpose of everyone moving the same way, we're going to step to our right into a low horse stance or a solid base. Then from there, with our left leg, we're going to execute a C step. Now to do that, what that means is the left leg is going to go to the right and then shoot back into essentially a front stance. And from there, you will shift to your left, facing the side wall, and at the same time, press in with an elbow. And you're gonna go into almost either somewhere between a horse stance or a front stance, right about here, okay? So then let's return. And we're going to do that again, but this time we're going to go to the other side. So both hands are going to go to around the abdomen, approximately in between the belly button and solar plexus. Step to the left with your left foot. We will then C-step behind with the right leg, back into that front stance. Then pressing in with our right elbow, we will shift and return. Now, what that looks like, I'm going to call Josh and Caitlin up. So Josh, I want you to stand directly here. Let's back up a little bit. There we go. And Caitlin, I want you right in front of your brother. Now what's going to happen is Josh is, step back a little bit. Step back. Step back. There you go. All right, so what Josh is going to do is he's going to wrap around and get Caitlin in a bear hug. What Caitlin is going to do is she's then going to take both hands and she's going to re-grab his grasp. There you go. Now, do you want to go left or right?
Right.
Right. All right. So what Caitlin is going to do is with her right leg, she's going to step wide and drop into a stance. There we go. Now from there, she is going to take her left leg and bring it to her right leg. And then she's going to shoot that left leg, not in between, to the outside. To the outside of Josh's. Okay, now, for the sake of safety, so that Josh does not go back into the jung, and I then have to go upstairs and explain to his mother why we need to rush her son to the hospital, I'm going to ask Josh and Caitlin if they would shift slightly over. Perfect. All right. Now we'll redo that from the beginning a little bit. So now what Caitlin is going to do is get this leg a little bit deeper. There you go. So then what Caitlin is going to do, and Kitty, look at me. So from there, you're going to shift and push that elbow into his hip flexor. And up a little bit more. And taking him down. All right. And Josh then goes down in a mighty thud.
Yes. And
then, of course, we see sibling love as Caitlin gets ready to clock her brother. All right, so I'm going to do it one time with Jim. So Jim's gonna grab me. Now, this is both effective if your arms are pinned or if your arms are free. Okay, so Jim, go. I'm gonna do this for demonstration purposes with my arms free. The reason being is because I do have a certain amount of girth. We're gonna go with the word girth, okay? So I just want Jim to be able to wrap around and get a good grasp. Yeah, we'll go with muscle, that sounds good. So I'm going to clamp down. I'm clamping down so that he doesn't go anywhere. I'm stepping to the side and then turn. Okay? So we're gonna do that. So this time Jim's gonna demonstrate. Why don't we back up a little bit so the camera can see and come this way so that I may land safely. So again, I could do this for Jim. I'm gonna do this arms pinned, okay? So Jim's gonna go ahead and step, C-step behind, and then take me down. Very nice. Help an old man up. All right, so again, now to make this particular combination effective, the key is your stancing and what you're doing with your lower body. It's about having a solid base. Now again, if Jim, we're not going to get into the combination, but if Jim were to give me get me a bear hug, but more of kind of a tackle push forward, okay, I'm going to be taking a different approach, okay? Or if he were to grab me, pulling me back, again, I may want to take a different approach. We'll cover that in a different session, and because we'll actually need to get some mats out because we'll be going down to the ground for some of those. So maybe we'll save that for next week. In the meantime, just a quick reminder, pinning the arms, stepping to one side, C-step behind, press the elbow into the hip flexors and shift, and send them to the ground in a thunderous kerplunk. And again, I like to remind everyone, every scenario is slightly different. One size does not fit all. The idea is you want to master the fundamental principles and concepts, and then train, and in that training you'll learn the application, and when you end up in a particular situation, the best course of action should then present itself to you. And we gotta remember, we gotta be flexible and be smart. So until next time, thank you, train, be well, be safe, God bless.